Hello everyone, welcome to Chasing Adventures. And today, let's talk about all the modification that I've done to my Subaru Outback Wilderness. So I've been asked a lot of questions regarding my modification on my Subaru Outback Wilderness. So I wanted to make a quick video of all the mods I've done to the car as of date and talk about my future mods as well in this video. So this is 2022 Subaru Outback Wilderness, and it's my first Subaru, and I had the car for a little over a year. And I understand why people keep going back to Subaru, because it's very comfortable daily commuter during the week and offers plenty of cargo space even for a family. But it can also take on the backcountry road without any issues and take you down the road less traveled during the weekend. But of course, it's not a rock crawler, so it does have its limits. But for my needs, and as long as you know its limits, it won't have any problems taking you to your destination. Now, as far as my modification goes, right off the back, the first thing I've done to the car was I used 3D dry carbon fiber vinyl to wrap around the shifter console and the shift knob. And I went a little carbon fiber happy, and I wrapped around the window controller and all the doors with leftover vinyl. And I did this because I couldn't stand watching the beautiful piano black finish scratching up and turning all hazy. I mean, why car manufacturers even put them on car is still a mystery to me, especially on a car that's advertised as an off-road vehicle. Sure, they look good off the lot, but just in a few days, it'll look outdated and old because of all the scratches. And a lot of you have been asking for a video of this modification, but I didn't make one for this because my channel was going to be more towards traveling and that sort at the time. But I did see YouTube tutorial by Wildtreks on how to remove the console, which he explains it in detail. And a lot of wrapping tutorials by CK Wraps, and it helped a lot. So if you want to try it, take a look at their tutorial, and I'll leave links to their videos in the video description below. But there's an easier way to preserve the black finish looking new without taking off the console and working tedious hours trying to lay the vinyl. And that is by using this protector from Screen Protect, and it's a clear paint protection film that you could apply on top of the console, and it'll get rid of the most existing scratches and will keep it looking new. So this would be way easier option. And I got them on my screen, and this is the matte PPF, and I went with the matte finish because not only it protects the screen from scratches, but it also acts as an anti-glare so you can still see the screen and won't blind you during a sunny day. And during my installation, I did mention that the fit can be slightly better, and the owner of Screen Protect contacted me and told me that they made adjustment to the film to have a better precise fit after my review video, so that was very cool of them. And I also have it on the instrument cluster, which is a clear finish, and can't even tell it's on there. And Christmas is right around the corner, so this will be a great gift idea for any car lovers that wants to keep their car looking new. And I'll leave links to all the items that you see in today's video in the video description, along with discount code if they're available for you guys, so make sure to check them out. And I don't know if this is considered as a modification, but I've been asked quite a lot about the cell phone holder, and I got them on Amazon, and it's a magnetic cell phone holder that you could stick on with double-side tape, and it pivots in all directions, but it holds very well even when off-roading. And the other one is placed on the rear dome lights, so you could lay it down and watch movies without holding your phone during camping. So this is well worth it. And this coin tray is also from Amazon, and it's the cheapest one that I found, which it replaces the fuse cover to hold coins and small items. And honestly, I feel like it should have came with the car to begin with. And the next thing I did was I plastic dipped the chrome part around the emblem, and I tinted the turn signals and the side mirror signal with the medium dark tint, and also tinted the fog lights with yellow tint. And it's a subtle change, but it makes a difference. I also added rain guards or window visor that I found on Amazon, and it fits well and works great for the price. But if I were to do it again, I'll probably go with the OEM ones, even though they're a little bit more pricier, because I don't like the color of the tint, and the rigid lines on them is something I'm still not used to. But if you're on a budget, these will work just fine. And again, until this point, I didn't make any videos of them. But if you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the comment section, and I'll try to answer them to my best of my knowledge. And next, I installed Hey Boily dash cam on the car, and it worked great, but recently I upgraded to Ventru N4 Pro dash cam, and the image is much more clear and crisp, especially the night footage, and has a third camera for the interior, so I like this a lot more. And because of the shape of this dash cam, I was able to put them right here in between the eyesight camera and the rear view mirror, and it fits like a glove, and it won't interfere with the eyesight camera. And to me, a dash cam is a must-have for everyone, so a dash cam will also be a great Christmas gift idea as well. Now moving on to some underbody protection, I have OEM engine and OEM rear differential skid plates. And I went with the OEM ones because the car already has a steel plates that's covering the engine bay, and the skid plate just adds on to protecting the engine. And plus, I'm not planning to do heavy off-roading yet, so this is a good enough protection for me, but I might upgrade it later to much more heavy-duty skid plates like Anderson Design or Rallytech if I feel the need to. And I installed OEM tow hitch receiver with amble D-ring shackles, and this took me 2 days to install them, but it was well worth it as I moved cross-country with U-Haul trailer, and it handled great. And you don't lose too much ground clearance unlike some aftermarket option because it sits further up into the bumper. And I also got the OEM Wilderness mud flaps, not mud guards, and it works great, and I love the design of them. And I put Thule Aeroblade Edge crossbars instead of Subaru's Thule Aero Extended option because I don't like anything overhanging, and it sits much lower than the Aero Extended crossbars. And I got them second-handed, and they were on a Forester before, and I think the model number is 7502B, and it fits the Outback Wilderness. And the dynamic load weight limit is 165 pounds, so it works for my needs and even supports my Thule Foothill rooftop tent along with the Yakima Slim Shady 6.5 awning or Yakima Skybox 16 with loaded cargo, so it's a great option if you want to have a slicker looking roof bars. And speaking of rooftop cargo carrier, I went with Yakima instead of the Thule because the locking hinge design. See how it's pretty flat to the bottom of the box and it doesn't protrude out too much, and it's a snap-on clamp design unlike the Thule screw-on clamp design that protrudes out a lot, and you have to screw it to secure it in its place. And the clamps are much thinner C-shape compared to the Yakima's wider U-shaped design. So I went with the Yakima because it has more usable space, and taking them on and off takes less time because I have to take them off the car in order to fit the car into the garage. And I usually go camping every weekend, so it's a lot of on and off the car. And same thing with the awning too. The Thule has this bolt-on design that bolts onto the roof bar with L brackets, but the Yakima has a universal clamp design, and I much prefer this because this will work on any roof bars and it's more securely placed. And I added LED lights to the car, and these are LP Adventure ditch light mounts for the hood, and I put Novesight 2-inch spotlights to see further down the road. And these are SMK ditch light mounts that mounts below the A-pillar, and I also put Novesight 3-inch floodlights to light up the front side of the car. And Novesight lights are pretty bright LEDs for the size. And on the roof, I have Rigid Horse 15-inch light bar, and I mounted them using Rhino Rack Pioneer brackets, and double-side taped them onto the crossbar with some zip ties, and it's holding just fine. And in the front, I made this bracket using an aluminum angle bar that I got from Lowe's, and mounted them using the OEM tow hitch hooks, and put amble D-ring shackles, but it's pretty flimsy, so I have to figure out a different way to mount this, but it's on there for now. And these are Oxbeam 7-inch 360 Pro Series LED lights, and they're super bright. And I think just having these lights alone will be bright enough for most situations. I also have one floodlight in the rear that I mounted on the awning rail using a L bracket that I got from Home Depot, and nightlight rock lights all around the bottom of the car. And these are nightlight 3-inch floodlights to light up the side of the car. And with all these lights turned on, I have 360 coverage of my surrounding. And all the LEDs are controlled by Angu Off-Road 6-gang switch panel, and I wired it directly to the battery so I could control the LED lights without turning on the ignition. But if you wired it like how I did, the controller will be lit all the time, but I haven't had any issues with them draining the battery down because it's such a low voltage. And I had the car sitting in the garage close to 4 weeks, and it fired up just fine. So instead of permanently mounting the controller, I put it in between the console and the infotainment screen so I could hide it in the armrest when I'm not using it, or have it outside of the car so I could control the lights when I'm at a camp or being stationary. And the nightlight 3-inch floodlights are mounted on the Orvis Overlanding rack wing, along with the 1.57 gallon Rotopax gas tank, and I put Gorilla clamp and a lock to secure them, and I think this is the best option to secure them. And I have Bond mini shovel on one side and Fisker's 28-inch chopping axe on the other side, and they're held on by quick fist clamps. And I also got Orvis Overlanding universal mole panels with some mole pouches, and these could go behind driver or passenger seat, or you could mount them horizontally to the back rear seats. And I have her necklace, aka Raptor lights, in the grill. And before that, I made one out of a Toyota 4Runner set. and I had to cut and shade them down to size and double side tape them on, and I still have it on there, but I'm really happy with her necklace lights because they fit very well and looks great. And to wire them, I use this empty fuse slot with the fuse tap, and the lights will turn on when the ignition is on. And the ground wires for all the lights are screwed onto this bolt. But sometimes the grill lights will turn on by itself when the car goes into diagnostic mode. But it'll turn off when it's done diagnosing, so I don't worry about it. And it's actually pretty cool to see the lights turn on by themselves because that means the car is doing its thing all by itself. And I tinted all the windows, and it's worth watching my tint video because I noticed the rear hatch window is lighter than the rear side windows. And in that video, I recommend getting certain percentage of tint to match the shades all around. And this is WeBoost Cell Booster in Overland version, and the antenna is mounted on the awning rail using an L bracket that I also got from Home Depot. And I got the Overland version because it's their strongest signal booster that they have for moving vehicle, and the antenna mount can be folded if the trail gets tough. And I gotta say, the WeBoost Cell Booster works pretty good. And to me, it was definitely worth it because the places that I go to the most have weak cell signal service that comes and goes. But after installing the WeBoost, I get coverage in a lot of the places, and at times I get full 5G signal so I could get in touch with my wife and check in once in a while. And finally, I upgraded the wheels and tires, including the spare, and the wheels are LP Adventure LP1 in 17 by 7.5 inches with 20mm offset, and the tires are Mickey Thompson's Baja Boss ATs in 245/65/17s. And this made the most drastic difference on performance of the car when off-roading because the original tires that came with the car is okay at best for basic off-roading, but I didn't feel confident airing down the tires down to 20 psi because it has thinner 2-ply sidewall and the traction wasn't all that great when the road got rough. And they say it's all-terrain tires, but I think it's more of road tires than anything else. But with the Baja Boss ATs, it has much thicker 6-ply sidewall, and the tire has 3-peak mount snowflake stamped. And with the more aggressive threads, it gives traction even in the challenging terrains. And it handles very well in all conditions, including in the snow. So I feel very confident to drive them air down. And with the 20mm offset wheels, I love the stance that I got with them because I always thought the Wilderness looked kind of underrated as the wheels were too tucked in. But this setup is just perfect to me. But I do have slight rubbing issues with the 20mm offset, but it's only on the plastic fender liner, so I don't worry about it. And I didn't lose any MPGs with this setup as I'm constantly getting 21 to 22 MPGs. And if you want to see detailed installation of all the modifications that I've done to the car so far, well, minus the carbon fiber wrap, you could click on the link here now, or I'll leave a link in the video description so you guys could view it later. And for my future plans, I'm going to add AFE Power's rock sliders and full bumper guard with winch mount to add protection to the car. So I'm super excited and I'm patiently waiting on the shipment to arrive. And I'm also thinking about getting their 2-inch lift kits. So if you don't want to miss those videos, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if this video was enjoyable to watch, I would really appreciate it if you could hit that like button as well. And that's it for today. And again, I'll leave links to all the items in the video description along with available discount code for you guys. And just to let you know, a lot of these companies are having holiday sale right now, so it's definitely worth it to check them out. And if you're local to me and you see me on the streets, campsites, or even on trails, please stop by to say hi because I would love to meet you guys in person. And I promise I won't bite. So thank you for watching, and until next time, keep chasing adventures and bye for now.